All right, folks, we're back. Hello. Sorry, there's nothing wrong with what I wrote.
I know it's such a simple spelling mistake, and that's not really making fun of. I just think that the word Fadut is like kind of funny.
I want to know if they actually have Bigfoot in Korea, like if that's a thing. In Korea, though,
it's a good question.
There
is
lore,
drama, I think?
Story for Bigfoot, or is that North America thing? We're ready to go whenever the players are. I'm not gonna hold this up for Bigfoot discussion.
Well, Bigfoot is a North American.
So Cranks is in Korea. They don't have Bigfoot, but they know what Bigfoot is. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, isn't that Canada that has Bigfoot, or is it like the North United States? I don't actually remember.
I think it's just a North American thing. Like it's a general spread of like, okay, Bigfoot.
I thought there was a specific like region that Bigfoot is supposed to exist, and that's where they were camping in Futurama.
Yellowstone Park? I don't know, man. I actually don't.
Yeah, I don't know.
As much as I'm having fun hamming this up, I don't know much or anything about Bigfoot.
You're not actually a huge Bigfoot conspiracy theorist and supporter.
Oh man, I saw the greatest conspiracy video on YouTube today about the Earth being flat, and like it boils down to proving the Earth is flat by proving that Pluto is a fart because a fart is flatulence or something. I can't remember. It was so good though. That's like amazing payoff for how stupid this video is. Anyways, conspiracy theories put to the side. I do really want to ask you guys not to do something stupid, but to do something smart, and let's help us finish off this prize pool. We're at $193 right now. Well, you might not feel so enticed to spend your own hard-earned cash. You could spend $1 of Matcherino's money and increase the prize pool by 1 by using the code BTSL3 over on the Matcherino page. Let's get that prize pool up to $200. Spawning in the bottom right, though, kicking off the semifinals of the BTSL. Trying to find out which player goes on to fight against Gumiho in those grand finals. It's going to be Root Gaming's herO, who is my favorite right now.
He's your favorite? Literally just like my favorite. In the bottom left, as the red Protoss, he is Hurricane.
Nobody saw that. Nobody noticed that he had his gases poorly optimized.
No, dude.
No, actually, while I do say hero's my favorite, it's worth knowing Hurricane's actually been winning cups more recently. And I don't mean like one, but like the Alima Leagues we see him show up for our stuff too. Like,
sorry.
Okay. Ha 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 ha. But the point is, he's gone from being this player who was kind of like, I don't know. I felt like he didn't take cups seriously because he would play in the round of 16 and he'd lose to dumb things or to players like Tails, and you just wouldn't. You Hurricane, I thought you were this legend, right? But something's happened recently, and he's really brought it back. So that's kind of cool to see.
Was he ever really good?
I feel like when I'm thinking Hurricane back in like early Heart of the Swarm, maybe late Wings of Liberty, I would hear a lot about Hurricane and Gumiho, actually, both of them together. And that's like young Caster Rifkin, who's barely following the Korean scene, right? Doesn't know much. But those two names would come up a lot. So for me, I feel like I've grown up with them in a way. So maybe Hurricane actually isn't, and I've got rose-tinted goggles on, but I've always thought he was a good player.
Oh, no, you're right. Well, the thing was is that back in the day, you used to have these like weeklies, and there's also something called the Unofficial World Champion, which still goes on, I think. And it basically is whoever just beat the last world champion, whoever beat the last world champion, whoever beat the last world, like so on and so forth. He was the unofficial world champion for 125 days total, more than anybody else ever.
Yo, there you go. So
that's
I'm not crazy.
No, I don't really remember him well because I didn't watch the weeklies, to be honest, and I didn't, obviously the unofficial world champion thing is just more of like a fun thing than anything else.
So herO actually does really well in multiple facets here. Might lose the Mothership Core because he's a little bit late to recall. Oh my god, that was like a millisecond difference on timing. But anyways, he catches the Adepts early enough that he almost completely wiped them out before they even touched the mineral line. Got 3 probes of his own. And of course, this Mothership Core's been driven off. So this has been a great start for herO in this game. Not huge leaps, but tiny leads.
Yeah.
Overcharge this? Oh,
so,
he's gonna bait. Get a couple shots in with the stalkers, then overcharge it.
Wait to bait. Wait to bait. Oh,
save yourself for Jesus. Oh, okay.
That's wait for man. Wait
Go
for different
on.
type of bait.
Wait for what, sorry?
Nothing. Anyways, yeah, we just talked about the Hurricane, but I think it all comes to this point, this head, where basically going up against herO, I actually might even favor Hurricane a little bit, because I think herO got knocked out in a PvP last BTSL or Lima League or whatever it was, so I'm actually quite interested in this. And by the way, herO versus Gumiho would also be a rematch of some variety, as these guys just play each other so flippin' often.
Yeah, I kind of want to actually get like Hurricane, herO, Alive, and Gumiho into a GSL style group, because this is gonna be constant action of rematch after rematch after rematch.
I got a lot of the similar top 4s, similar top 8s.
Whoa.
Well,
If we hosted this tournament again on Matcherino, would it become the Rematcherino?
Make it even sound more memey.
The
Way to
chick
go.
from the Drew Carey show?
More memey. Memey? I didn't watch enough, I guess. I don't know who that is.
Oh, it's like the really big girl who's got like his office rival or whatever. Mimi.
Ah, that kind of sounds familiar. There's like 2 shows that my parents
She wore
and my
like
brothers would watch.
clown levels of makeup.
Well, anyways, that I really didn't pay attention to, but I knew about, and that was one of them. And the other one was the Critic. Is that what it was called?
I did not like that one actually, and it just because of the guy's voice. I know what you're talking about, but hey,
Oh, I love.
by the way, big thank you to everybody for helping us out. There we go,
Yay!
$200 raised for today's prize. That's awesome. Thank you guys so much. Now, of course, if there are any codes left, any BTSL 3s that haven't been claimed, I hope you help us claim them. But at this point going forward, it's just now. If you guys are feeling generous, if you decide, you know what, Hurricane and herO in the final, Hurricane and Gumiho in the finals, those are your 2 favorite players. You want to make sure they get a couple of bucks. By all means, go ahead. But we've now fulfilled like our minimum goal, and everybody in 4th place to 1st place is going to get some prize money.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Cash in their pockets, cash in their electronic bank accounts, where it really makes you question if money is real.
I want like something like Tempo, or I don't know if there's anyone else that does parody music really well, but like do that thrift store song, but like having everything to do with like prize pools for tournaments.
Well, there's plenty of people that do, parody songs. Oh, but you mean StarCraft 2 parodies?
StarCraft, There was those guys from New Zealand for a while that were doing them. What was it, Viva La Dirt League or something?
Oh yeah, that's right. They did like the SCV thing, SCV Love Story.
Yeah, those guys were actually. It was not just that they were funny; their videos were pretty good too. But hey, we do have an attack kicking off, and it's herO who's going to be aggressive.
What else is new? No, actually, it's actually pretty important that he has an armor supply lead, because otherwise their builds are pretty similar. Hurricane's trying to get to Robotics Bay though, and herO's not quite yet, so he does have that little tiny bit of an armor supply lead. War Prism also makes this a lot scarier, I think, for Hurricane. Yeah, he just hands down those pylons.
And that's actually a point that I really like. He canceled the Nexus really quick. You could argue he could have let that run a bit longer, bought some more time, but he needed the minerals here and now to put down a bunch of pylons to build the extra gateways and get that production up, because right now, if this was like a constant fight of War Prism versus home pylons, I think Hurricane actually loses. So very good choice not to dilly-dally around with that Nexus and play like risky around it.
Thank you to Venny Vicky MA.
Yo, I'm so sorry. I called him Venny Vici, and I didn't realize just how bad that pronunciation was.
I mean, maybe that is true. Anyways, herO did have like a lot more production. He wasn't trying to get to any tech. He didn't get a forge, no robotics bay, and he has a pretty substantial army supply lead even still. But Hurricane has finally finished up his own production. He did try and go like Nexus before production. That was a little bit greedy, but now it's done, and he should be catching up, especially if his Disruptor can get any type of good shot. But honestly, even at counts of 4, this large of an army versus what Hurricane has, that's snipeable territory, and I think herO is just the type of guy to do that.
Yep.
Boom!
Immediately, like surgically removes it, but the problem is another one does come, it hits, and it gets a lot of Stalker kills. 10-7 on the Stalker front's not that impressive. It's going to come down to these Immortals, I feel, and it looks like Hurricane's about to lose his. New Warpins get put in the front lines, and their depths, so they're not going to go down so quickly to the Immortals. A good choice out of Hurricane.
Oh, that disruptor could probably just be split against. I'm not sure if it's worth blinking on top of. Yeah, herO's actually just gonna give it the game, leave it the Nexus either way, so it doesn't have to give up the game. But to be honest, losing the Nexus again is pretty bad. I mean, herO, sure, he delayed a lot of stuff, but this entire time he has been on a third Nexus, so you can definitely afford to transfer out of this attack.
Well, people are saying that the BTSL code's been used up at this point, so that's awesome, guys. $201. I'll take it at the end of the day. Although there should have been more codes available, because Krugerson donated 16, so maybe we'll have to look into that.
I know what happened. I think you know this too, right?
Oh, what they found out about?
Yeah, which I don't really want to bring up on stream again.
No, because I don't want people to do... Yeah, okay. Hey, we do have the attack kicking off. On this side of the map, it has DTs. And while cannons started, they're not done yet. I think he did get an observer out, I want to say.
An observer. So where would you emphasize something that starts with an N?
So he didn't. Okay, there's no herO'ing to know that, but if herO'ing knew that and he killed the pylon, oh, this would be devastatingly game over for herO, despite his good tactics up to this point.
I warped in another DT as well. That was bad timing. But 19 probes ain't too shabby. 1 DT, 2 DTs actually still going to town here.
Okay, but the problem with this is, while this is like a temporary probe lead, where's that the income graph, right? Yeah, look how much time he has to make up for. That third base finishes up. I mean, there's no problem pumping 3 probes at a time when they're all going to get chrono boosted at that. So, yeah, this is good damage out of herO'ing. I'm not going to take that away from him. But I don't think herO's by any means out of the game. He's still sitting at 76 army supply. Really good supply, too. Not weirdly like, 40 supply invested in zealots or something.
Yeah. The Nex is also going to be put down a little bit sooner, too. But, I mean, if all of his money had gone to Disruptors, there's always that chance. But I think it wasn't all on Disruptors. Third one just pops out here. That's still something that herO can snipe and let his Immortals do the rest. Ooh. Exactly what he does.
Ah. That was really well done.
Yeah, he does. I mean, this is a lot of the reason why we see, especially in Korean Protoss versus Protoss, the Disruptors fall off more, is that against this type of push, an aggressive Protoss who skips going to the Disruptors, or holds off on it rather, like, with the control they have, the understanding of PvP that they have, like, they can actually just, overwhelm you.
This is really interesting, actually. So herO's doing a bit of a risky thing, where... And you might think the risky thing is going up the ramp, but I actually think giving herO'ing a soft contain is riskier than trying to end the game here and now. But that's not gonna matter. GG. herO will take the first game in this best of 3. Also, I just want to point out, I would not normally play an ad here, guys, but I need to restart the call with Sombrero and fix a couple things. So sit tight. Thank you for watching. I'll be back with game 2 ASAP, and I won't play an ad on the next one to make up for it. Okay, folks, we're back. Thanks for watching that break. Getting into game number 2, however, in this best of 3. We're still waiting to find out who goes on to fight against Gumiho in the grand finals, but spawning here in the top left, he leads 1-0 currently. It is the blue Protoss, herO.
In the bottom right is the red Protoss. He is herO'ing.
Okay, so herO'ing may or may not have been salty about that game. I feel, though, that game at a glance looked really herO favored, because like right from the get-go, he had a good start. Little trades here, catching adepts there. But I really liked that herO'ing didn't give up, and that DT move almost brought him back into the game. Again, like if he had realized that there were no observers and focused on that pylon instead of going after probes, that would have been game over for herO.
Yes, it would have. Not something that's supposed to happen that late in the game, so can't blame him for not realizing, but it was a good move. But that kind of also was like part of the problem to him defending as well. Like, he went for Robotics Bay, he went for Forge, and he went for a Dark Shrine. And that's a lot of money and gas to invest in. And he also went for Nexus before Gateways, and that was the first time he canceled, so... I mean, herO'ing might change up completely. This guy actually isn't too stuck into one playstyle that we've noticed yet. And he might be a little more aggressive, but you can always bank on herO well, almost always bank on herO being the aggressive one. Proxy gateways, proxy robos, aggressive blink stalkers, aggressive warp prisms. Hurricane might not be willing to try and match that. You're still showing off your mouse on camera?
Yeah. There's actually... I actually have a funny, legitimate reason for it, but the fact that it seems to be bothering people has also kind of enticed my troll side to say just keep it up. I like the logic that was brought today. Zombie always has the cat on her camera, so of course I would need the mouse on mine.
That is clever. I mean, I don't want my face up, but there's no cat to put it on instead. They've left me.
I shaved my head recently, and I'm not a fan of the way it looks, so that's why my camera is pointed down a bit. Once my hair comes back a bit.
Oh, well, I saw, like, you sent me a picture with your cat.
Yeah, no one else saw that picture though, dog.
I know. I was just gonna say it didn't look bad, man.
It's a defeatist thing. Like, I actually every time I get my like beard growing long or my hair growing long, like I'm like, yeah, I'll actually get to grow this out, and then I'll have like a Trichotilla Mania episode, and I'm like, great, ruined, gotta start over. So it's more of a me thing, but it's whatever. Hey, we're here for the StarCraft, not for my hair. Although Maynard's hair is more than enough to make up for both of us.
It was Maynard, or maybe we get Boris on here.
Dude, I lent Boris my comb for it, Ting. I was like, how do you have your hair this long and not have a comb at the ready?
It's just that luxurious. So this is kind of funny. Like, usually you do not have stalkers being this aggressive, or the opportunity to be this aggressive, but the stalkers were just that little bit later for Hurricane that he almost lost his mothership core. That would have been quite a nice pickoff, but actually herO is just doing the same exact thing, or almost the same exact thing as Hurricane. Expansion, Twilight Council. He did get a robo where Hurricane did not, and he is going to be using that Warp Prism to harass, and that's going to kind of suck. If he doesn't use it to harass, he could actually just use it to defend as well. May not be a bad idea if he thinks he's going to be attacked.
I also might want to just pay back Hurricane for that last game.
Yep. Well, this is going to be at a more sensible timing to try and kill the robo, as opposed to the last game where you just assume there's already observers. But he does have to defend for a little while here. This is, like, he could have been a little more worried about this attack. You don't quite know, like, there's not, I don't think there's a confirmation scout on whether or not there's a proxy proxy gateway, not Stargate. But the probe count of the natural might have told him, I'm not sure. But the point is, like, he had to take it seriously, so second pylon was put down, and he can use that warp prism to actually warp in DTs like he wants.
You know what? Even if this is only baiting out one of the several overcharges, it still helps remove how easy it is to clean up this warp prism. So these adepts are not totally failing. Plus, they're getting a couple of kills, which isn't too bad.
So I'm not sure this adept saw the robo finishing, because if it didn't, for all he knows, it's already done and built like 2 observers. But you know, if he saw it finishing and saw that it still wasn't producing an observer, he could actually try and snipe it. Oh lordy.
It looks like, well, I guess it wouldn't matter because his vision right at the end of his death kind of negates it. But okay, it's gonna be some DTs, and the thing is, maybe the DTs actually fail in terms of like the cloak sneak attack. They could still be really effective in terms of Archons, but Hurricane's starting his own Dark Shrine while this goes on, so this game might be one of those really weird games.
Might just be.
There
so
is,
DT is revealed.
And there is no detection right now. I'll make that clear. Like, for those questioning. So
he canceled the Warp Prism. Like, it was actually like 5 seconds away from finishing, but I think that would have been worth it.
herO.
It is worth it to cancel it. It is.
It is also worth noting. Okay, well, it's never mind.
All right.
I was gonna say he could have killed that pylon at the end of the game right then and there, but yo, we just had a big chunk of a donation hit that Matcherino page. At least that's what it looks like. Hang on. First off, who's that just subbed? Thank you, PP sir, for the 2 months. Says love you guys.